Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Point of View with Miss Shirley Polk here today. This is September the 6th in the year 20. No, it's September the 5th. It's Thursday, September the 5th in the year 2024. And I am so thankful to be able to come to you and present another episode of Point of View with Ms. Shirley Polk. I am so grateful, dear God, as I sit before you to speak. I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. To all of you, I'm praying for and with you too, whatever the situation is in your life, I'm praying for and with you also. I'm going to continue with always know where you stand. I got to, I think, number 4 in the 15 examples I was going to give you of it. So I'm going to just go right back into that, and I'm going to start with, I think it's number 4, where it tells us that you're not a people pleaser. And it talks about when you're a person that stands out in the crowd, you're sure of yourself, and people see you as a confident, strong person. And there are 15 signs you're a confident person that other people can't help but admire. So we're going back into that. We're in hack spirit, and this is the second day I've been in hack spirit. I don't think I've ever been in hack spirit before, but I'm going to go ahead and continue this. And thanking you for being with me today. I love you so much. You're not a people pleaser. One of the strongest signs you that you have a powerful personality that stands out in the crowd is that you are not a people pleaser. Like mentioned, you don't trim yourself to fit the world or do what others think is the best course of action. You don't do that. You stand out from the crowd. You don't let people tell you who you ought to be and who they think you should be. They can say it, but you have to use your own wisdom and be your own person and do and be the best person for you and do the best things for you. Okay? So you are helpful and present for folks who need a hand, but you're totally uninterested in being a doormat or a third wheel to other people's lives. You seized your own inner power and confidence, and everyone around you can tell. So while you're as polite as you can be, you don't mince words if people try to manipulate you or step on you. You don't mince words. You just ain't got time for that. Remember, I said this on Tuesday. You just ain't got time for that. This is what he wrote. If people love you, great. If they hate you, it's their loss. If you or commit to something, you do your best to do it. This is the kind of person you are, a strong person. People admire strong people. They see it in you, and you might not see the magnitude of influence that you have on other people positively, but people see it in you. If you need to cancel an appointment or date, you do it. As Amy Morin writes, whether you say yes and then actually follow through, or you later take an illness, fake an illness to get out your commitments, you'll never reach your goals if you can't speak up for yourself. You don't have to fake it. Just say, I've changed my mind, and you say it in a way of respect, and just, if you don't want to do it, hey, I'm not going to do it. But you will find the words to respectfully decline and change your name if you decide to, or else accept the invitation. Whichever way you answered, you can change your mind when you want to. Okay? Number 5, you judge others by who they really are, not outer labels. The world is so full of labels and categories for everyone. Our media promotes that as well, dividing us into identity groups, pitting us against each other, and and um, and boosting the idea that our labels make us who we are. There's a little character thing over here that's blocking me, and I can't get it out of the way. So, well, they don't. The media tries to label us and influence us, and does influence quite a lot of people. But you have to be your own self. You cannot let the media tell you who you ought to be when you know very well that you're not that kind of person. You have to be the best that you can be. Be the person that God made you to be. And how do we know? Ask Him, consult Him. God, is this who you want me to be? Tell me, lead me, guide me, so that I can be the person that you want me to be. And when I'm the person that you want me to be, then I know I will be successful in everything that I do because I'm guided by you. You're not going to be a third wheel for anybody. You're not going to be a doormat for anyone. So, the world is full of labels and categories for everyone. I'm redoing this. Our media promotes that as well, dividing us into identity groups, pitting us against each other, and boosting the idea that our labels make up who we are. Well, they don't. Okay? So the writer says, I met carpenters with PhD in philosophy. He said, I've met carpenters with a PhD in philosophy and academics who spoke so much convoluted nonsense that it turned out to actually mean nothing. Nothing. All right, let's get on. So I've been in countries and around people I was told by popular culture are scary or dangerous and had the experience of precisely the opposite. I've had that experience too. People would tell you, well, you don't need to mess with her. You don't need to be around her because she's this, she's that. You don't need to be around him because he's this, he's that. You have to learn people for yourself. You have to be wise also. You have to be wise and you have to be very cautious. Okay? But your intuition, we talked about that. Your intuition, first mind, and all that. Pay attention. Okay? He said, we've been in countries where people told by popular culture that they're scary and dangerous, and he said it's just the opposite. And he said, I've been in cultures that are widely viewed as friendly and safe and never felt more threatened or uncomfortable. The truth is that you're a person who stands out from the crowd. If crowd, you have unique experiences and you own them. The truth is that if you're a person who stands out from the crowd, you have unique experiences and you own them. You take the motto, see for yourself, seriously, and you don't judge people or place until you've experienced it for yourself. All right? Think about it. Think about it. Okay, number 6. You give people second chances, but you're no pushover. You give people second chances, but you're no pushover. Okay? So we often have a binary view of reality. This extends to personal interactions. If someone is forgiving, then they always give people the benefit of the doubt and a second chance. If someone is a hard person, then they don't forgive or forget when someone crosses them. Okay? The truth is that being overly revengeful or forgiving will leave you in bad shape. Someone with a strong personality understands this perfectly because of your experiences in life. They They're able and willing to forgive someone who's sorry about what they did, but they don't forget or act naive when they've been treated poorly or double crossed by someone, and that's a fact. That is a fact. Okay, they strongly stand up for themselves and their boundaries, giving second chances if they're deserved, but never being a pushover. Your strong personality. These are the traits, okay? People make mistakes. Even you. We all make them. We all mess up sometime. Nary a one of us is immune to making a mistake, okay? None of us. None of us. If someone wronged you, you forgive them if they show true remorse, notes Eva Jackson. Despite that, though, you won't forget about what they've done. That way, you'll know. Let me see here. Okay, I'm some pop-ups here. That way you'll know that they don't really mean sorry if they do the same thing to you again. Have you ever had someone to do that to you or someone's, oh, I don't mean to do, I'm sorry, I won't do that again. And then they go ahead and do that same old thing all over again. And sometimes if you give them a chance, they'll do it more than twice. Okay, you know what they say about that? Shame on me, and then shame on you. Hey, wisdom. Number seven, you have high emotional intelligence. There are a lot of intelligent people out there who have low emotional intelligence. They know how to crunch numbers and do marketing, but they are not much good at understanding or navigating emotions. The result is that they come across as kind of stunted people without as much to offer. Okay? The result is that they come across as kind of stunted people without much to offer. One of the biggest signs you have a strong personality that stands out from the crowd is that you have high emotional intelligence. You're no sap, but at the same time, you understand emotions and know how to be open about them and resolve difficult emotional periods. Okay, so this sets you apart from the vast majority of people. Number eight, you control your impulses and desires to achieve your dreams in business and life. Everyone is different. We know that everyone is different. And the sooner people get this into their minds and realize this and acknowledge it, they'll stop trying to run other folks' lives. Okay? But some people never acknowledge it. They're so busy trying to make other people be like they want them to be, they can't even take care of their own business themselves. Okay? Now, number eight, you control your impulses and desires to achieve your dreams in business and life. Everyone is different. The one thing that almost everyone has a problem with is impulse control. Almost everyone has a problem with impulse control. The truth is that if you can control your desires and impulses enough to pursue your goals, then you're already head and shoulders above the crowd in so many ways. Nobody is perfect. You hear that? Nobody is perfect. But even if you can stop yourself gorging on junk food or getting angry when being cut off in traffic, you're the top tier. Okay? You're in the top tier. All right? You're up there. Most people, no matter how smart, are very vulnerable. to their instant reactions, emotions, and responses. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so good. So if you learn to have more control, it puts you way ahead in life and in business. The Dolly Dasco puts it well. Most entrepreneurs are people of impulse, and most passionate people live by feelings. But those who understand and notice the art of discipline can channel their impulses into something of substance. I like it. Number nine, you project your voice, but you don't shout to be heard. I like this. You project your voice, but you don't shout to be heard. We're talking about always know where you stand. And this is talking about how you stand out from the crowd because you know these things. You project your voice, but you don't shout to be heard. What are the first things you notice about someone? What are the first things you notice about someone? And so the writer says, for me, it's body language, eyes, and voice. One of the most important signs you have a strong personality that stands out from the crowd is in your voice itself. Confidence and gravitas comes through voice and attracts others to you. Studies have also shown that voice pitch changes during a situation of attraction to a potential mate. Hmm. So, when you're a person who stands above the crowd, there's often just something about your voice that people listen to. Maybe it's the tone, maybe it's the style, the content of what you say, or a combination of all of that and some extra mystical factor. It could be all of them, it could be one of them, it could be two of them, and then it could have an extra mystical factor. Whatever it is, you can be sure not everyone has the privilege. Number 10, whining is not a luxury you indulge in. Whining is not a luxury you indulge in. If you want to do one thing right away that makes you stand out from the crowd, if you want to do one thing that makes you stand out from the crowd, stop complaining. I'm talking even about the small things. You might be upset, but try just not voicing your complaints for a few days or weeks. You'll be surprised at how you begin to focus less on what's wrong and more on what's possible. I like that. I like that. The fact of the matter is that strong and impressive people are not all that interested in excuses, complaints, and problems. They are interested in solving those problems, not talking about them. Strong personalities do not put up with excuses. When you have a strong personality, you're not willing to listen to people waste time whining about what they can do. You just don't want to hear it, do you? Okay? You would rather focus on what you can do and how you can overcome obstacles to do more, observes Michael Pryorus. Number 11. You compliment others on their successes. See, this is when you're a person that's noticed and you have strong personality and people admire you and you don't know the impact many times, most of the time, that you have on other people when you have a strong, confident personality. Number 11, you compliment others on their success. And we have 15 of these, and I started, I think, with number 4, I believe, today, on number 5. And this is a continuation of Tuesday, was it the 2nd? Or the third. This is the 3rd of September 2024. But I wanted to finish this. You compliment others on their success. So you don't have anything to be jealous or envious about of other people because you have your own share of life and success and confidence. All of that. You have it yourself. So you can share with other people. It doesn't take anything away from you. If you're someone with a strong personality that stands out from the crowd, then you like to give compliments. You notice what others are doing right and you boost them. So you understand that fundamental law of social dynamics, which is that people really love to be seen and recognized. You understand it that people love to be seen and recognized. So when you tell them about the good job they're doing or how you appreciate something they did for you, these pop ups, they respond in kind. Okay, when you tell them about the good job they're doing or how you appreciate something they did for you, they respond in kind. They notice you and want to work with and support you. So it's truly a win-win. Number 12, small talk gets on your nerves. You want to talk about the big stuff. Okay, this is number 12. We're getting it done, aren't we? So now and then, the weather is just too interesting not to talk about. That's every now and then, okay? But in general, one of the top signs you have a strong personality that stands out from the crowd is that small talk kind of bores you. So it's not that you're above it or too smart. It's just that you crave so much to talk about things which are substantive, emotional, and real and fundamental. You love to find out what drives others or talk about what drives you. Pop up galore. And I did sign up for this site too. You love to find out what drives others and talk about what drives you. You love to think about business ideas, life plans, and values. So when chit chat hits you, you tend to wilt just a little, okay? uh, like Pryor says, if you have a strong personality, you have a lot of ideas. You do not want to waste time talking about people when you could be changing the world. Number 13, you're only competing with yourself. You're only competing with yourself. Okay? That's someone to compete with, all right? When it's healthy, all right? There are so many potential reasons to become jealous oh my God, these pop ups. When you look around at what people have and do that you don't. There are so many potential reasons to become jealous when you look around what people have and do that you don't. But if you have a powerful personality that stands out from the crowd, you don't focus on this. You just don't. It just bores you. You truly only compare yourself with yourself of yesterday. If you're if you've improved even a small amount, you celebrate it. Celebrate yourself. You know, I put those on Facebook. Celebrate yourself. You are important. Celebrate yourself. If you've overcome a challenge, you give yourself props, even if others would never understand everything you had to do to get to that point. You're not in it for the recognition. You're on your own journey and you own it. Remember, you own your journey. UOWN, your journey, okay? Number 14, you take advice with a big grain of salt. Most people are easily swayed by persuasion and the advice of others. They have trouble thinking for themselves and find that the news, popular opinions, and narratives hold a big piece of real estate in their head. If you have a strong personality that stands out from the crowd, then this isn't a problem you have. No matter what other people say, you don't necessarily buy into it unless it accords with what your values and makes sense to you. Unless it accords with your values and makes sense to you. Okay, as Chris Dye writes, the only one with the power and the might to direct your life is you. I say it over and over again. I say that myself. That is why you don't allow anyone to interfere with your plans or your relationships. You live life according to your principles, your own principles, beliefs, and values. Number 15, and we're here at the end of this. You're pumped about your dreams and on the track to find them. Your strong personality, you know who you are, you know where you stand with yourself first and with others. Okay, you're pumped about your dreams and on track to find them. Strong personalities are not easily satisfied. They have an inner drive that keeps them going and going. If you have a drive that never quits and passions that go on for miles, then you stand out from the crowd. Think about it. Think about it. If you're not satisfied with the postage stamp line and a typical 9 to 5, then you stand out from the crowd. If you don't whine about problems but solve them instead, you stand out from the crowd. You're not concerned about what others have, you're focused on what you are chasing. One in a million, one in a million. The truth is that each of us has our own unique life experience and story. Each of us is one in a million. The birth of anyone is, biologically speaking, basically a miracle considering how high the odds are against being born, surviving, and living into older age. What makes you truly stand out from the crowd isn't being special or different. What makes you stand out from the crowd is knowing yourself and your life experiences at a deeper level than most people around you. What makes you stand out from the crowd is having enough self honesty to grow and change as a person. What makes you stand out from the crowd is understanding that no matter, I have to pull this down because it's getting in my way, no matter how unique we are, we're ultimately still all in this together. How about that? That is so neat. Neat. And they have on here, this is hackspirit.com. Discover a happier life. And they say with Buddhism, but we don't do Buddhism, but this is some great information, okay? All right. So here we go. This is hackspirit.com. And we did give the author. This is Lackland, Lachlan Brown of Hack Spirit. And this was done this year. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being with me. I'm going to close out here. And I want you to be on the lookout for an announcement that I'm going to make. I'm doing a production. I'm very happy about it. I had written this material, this drama years ago. I look back at the date, the one I'm producing now, and I'm getting ready to release episode one. I wrote it in 2020, and I have one that I wrote before that, and one that I wrote many years ago. And so I've been thinking, and I've had different ideas of how I was going to produce this and present it. So now I know how I'm doing this, and so I almost have my first episode finished. So please be looking out for that. I love you so much. Enjoy the remainder of your day. You are awesome. You are special. And I love you so much for joining me on Point of View. Tomorrow, God willing, will be the Mother's Board Inc. Okay, the Mother's Board Inc. I love you. Enjoy the remainder of your day.